Uh, Thank you, my dear viewers. I want to handle a question that has been coming to me about the occurrences which have been happening in our schools. Today, I want to take a different aspect. I've had people blaming the school principals. I've had people blaming the government. I've had people taking blames from different people. But today I want to say this, that the people we should blame are the parents. There is a lot of being a parent. You know, in the book of Proverbs 22, verse 6, my Bible records that train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. So when you are training does not start in our schools or in our institutions, but training starts right from the womb. Whatever you are doing when you are pregnant, how you behave, will help in shaping the character of the child, or it will help in ruining the character of the child. Those who have undergone classes, who have done what is called child development, they know that the child, what influences the mind of the child from age 0 to 12 years will compose the whole life of that child. So I want to say that the parents should take their role. They should tell their children what they should do. You know, when you've trained a child that this is what is right and this is what is wrong, even if they have contradiction in schools, they'll still stand on the right way, on the right path. You see, but if you don't train a child, you've left your child to be trained by others. Some of our parents are not even seeing their children eye to eye. They've given birth, but because of businesses, because of work schedules, they don't have time with their children. They take a lot of time in looking for resources to model the child, but they do not take a lot of time to model the brain of the child. Now I want to tell you that parenting is the major thing. If you cannot do the right parenting, I want to tell you we are going to have so many occurrences like the ones we are having today. This is something we need not to give the government, that the government is the person who is going to handle your child. No, your character. Number 2, exposure. We've exposed our children to a lot of challenges. Today we know, we have technology. But in my days, accessing a phone was a problem. Accessing any computer gadget was a problem. But nowadays we get them. We have them in the families. We have them in our houses. We even buy for them phones. We connect them to internet. They download whatever they want. But all these things, don't think that everything which the child is downloading or everything which is in the internet is right for the children. Look at our comedians today. You see, some of our comedians are very silly. In fact, from how they speak, they are not speaking like those who want to be parents. Some of them are using vulgar languages. And then, this child is becoming addicted to such like a comedian. And is always on TikTok with watching all this nonsense. These things will cloud the mind of the child. And whenever he walks out or she walks out, those are the things they will think. So that is also another way of parenting. And I want to urge our comedians. We are very happy when you are in the field. And we love whatever you are doing. But you need to be polished. You need to be polished. If you are a comedian, you need to be polished. Check whatever you are talking about. Check whatever you are saying. Check whatever you want to expose to go into the media. Ask yourself that if you were the person who was the parent of the child, then how do you expect this child to behave in future? Another area, still on that, I've said that you need to check your content. Check whatever you are releasing. And even here, the government can come up and check. They should even listen for these contents when they are being released, because some of them. Then number 3 is about our musicians. We love you, you entertain us. We know that that is the area you ventured in to earn a living. But why would a singer sexualize his songs? Most of his songs, we have some other singers, when they sing, most of their songs, they are sexualized songs. These things will go deep into the minds of our children. And then, this is the person you want the teacher to control. This is the person you are giving. You've not given the first instruction, the basic instructions here. You want the teacher to go and control that child outside your compound. No. I think being a parent is to be stern, strict, but with love. You need to love your children, but that does not take away being stern and strict. Just be strict on whatever they are watching. Be stern on what they should do. So that at the end of the day, that child will also one day will be a parent, but an admirable parent. Another thing is about work. You know, today we are crying that there are no job opportunities. Some of us get employed in these things called restaurants and bars. We don't say they are wrong. But I want to tell them that when you are a parent, even if you're working in that sector, you need to handle yourself in a modest way. And from there, I'll move to these sexual commercial workers. They're also there. They are outside there. They are selling nudes everywhere. By the time you are selling these nudes, at times you are making some funny video calls in the presence of your children, and they are watching you. That you want to expose your nakedness to a man so that you be paid. You want to expose your nakedness to a lady so that you be paid. And then by the time you are doing this, you are before your children. What are you telling them? Do you think this is a child who will be controlled outside your home? Yeah. But you see, all these problems, they start from home, but they mature outside. Because this child A will bring an idea, child B will also bring an idea. When these ideas are combined, these filthy ideas, when they are combined, they'll bring that school down. Even if you force the parents that we need to bring punishment in schools, that will not help if parenting continues the way it is going on. There is nothing which will change. There will be a lot of problems. Then, on the same concept, when you have a house, I know you can love one another as couples. But what are you doing before your children? Some of you are even kissing one another when their children are there and is watching them. Leave alone kissing. Some of you go to some deep touches before their children. And I want to tell you, don't think that the child you've given birth to is a child. They are no longer children. Some of them will even pretend that they are sleeping. Immediately you will start your actions and your activities. They'll be there keen, listening for you and taking every bit. In fact, if you want to know this deeply, go to these preschools. You'll get that truth. I've handled a case of a child who went to their teacher and told the teacher that, teacher, my mom usually cries in the night that my dad is taking her to heaven. But in the morning I find my mom. Are the angels returning her every night? No. You need to do your things in a modest way. We know it is a family, we know it is a marriage life, and we know it is a right in the marriage that you need to enjoy one another. I have no problem with that. But where is your child by the time you're doing that? By the time you are making sounds, Daddy, take me to heaven. Daddy, take me to heaven. And then the following day, the child is seeing you. The child went to school and asked the teacher that mami kila usiku analea daddy anampeleka binguni, lakini ikifika asubuhi nampata kwa nyumba. Malaika alimrudisha. We need to be people who knows that they have children, because whatever you are doing today will affect the future of the child. Set a good environment for your children. Parents, some of you are not going to church. Maybe you know the reason. I cannot tell what is the problem in your churches why you don't attend. Church services nowadays you don't attend. Especially men. Men are sleeping. They are not even attending these church services. Now how will you tell your child to go and get modest character from the church if you yourself you are not attending those church services? You need to be serious. In fact, when you are parenting, you need to know that you are making the future of your kid. And that is why the Bible is telling us we need to train them when they are young, and they'll not depart on those ways when they grow old. Last but not least is still about parents who are taking alcohol. When you've taken your alcohol, I don't have a problem with your alcohol, though biblically it is not allowed. So in the church setup, we'll tell you to leave alcohol. But maybe in the outside world, you'll enjoy that alcohol. But have you checked how you are behaving? Have you installed CCTV cameras and then later you watch how you are behaving when you are drunk? Some of you say a lot of nonsense when they are drunk. And I don't know what alcohol is bringing in the life of those who, in the mind of those who are taking it. Once they have taken this alcohol, every insult will end in the private part of a woman. And you know how you usually insult people when you are drunk. And then you are even insulting them before you are even insulting people before your own children. Some of you, when they take alcohol, they are saying that alcohol makes me go crazy. You are crazy, but you cannot control what comes out of your mouth. When you want to take alcohol, do it at your own risk. But remember, one day, it will affect the children. I know somebody will ask me that in the olden days, how wazee walikuwa wanatumia pombe. Yes, walikuwa wanatumia pombe, but walijua wako wapi. You could not meet them staggering and abusing people along the roads, along the streets. They used to take them, but they were very honorable. They knew how they could manage to control themselves. The ones for today, they don't even know how to control themselves. I know things you are doing under influence of alcohol. I think one time you should record them. You need to record them. Put them in your CCTV, in your installed CCTVs. And then later, go and follow the CCTV footages and find how you are behaving. My friend, I want to tell you that if you want us to bring this menace of fire down, then we have to start from home. To our teachers, you are doing good work, but some of you are not doing good work. Some of you are coming to classes even when they are drunk. And then they are saying that is the time they make children to be funny, that they make the students to follow them. No, I don't encourage that. There is a time I saw a teacher who was sleeping by the road because he was drunk. And I don't know who had undressed him. The school going children were the people who are now dressing him up. How old teacher? I want to tell you, maybe you are behaving like that because you are in another community. But remember, your child can also one day find you in that state. So we need to handle our things responsibly. I want to urge everyone to start parenting from home. Ensure that you watch every content. You have to know every content of whatever your child is enjoying, they are watching, even the movies. I've told you that there are some sexualized movies that we should not even expose our children to. And that is why, at a very tender age, you will find that these young ladies, at very tender age, they have known a lot. Maybe you can think that your girl child is a virgin. No, that girl is not virgin. That girl has enjoyed different types of men. Just because of parenting. They are watching them, they go outside, they want to practice. So ensure that you are a parent. Finally, to young men, if you know you cannot do parenting, never release your sperms to any woman if you know you will not take care of your children. Because you're also exposing these children to a lot of challenges outside there. Don't act like a sperms donor, that you only donate sperms everywhere. If you go to this man, if you go to this lady, you donate sperms. If you go to this lady, you donate sperms. If you go to the other lady, you donate sperms. In the city where you are, in the community where you are, in the town where you are, wherever you are, you have more than 5 children, and you are also a hustler who is doing nothing, cannot even afford Pampers. If you know you cannot afford Pampers, stop affording sperms. And it should be straight. Because we are also exposing these children to danger. And that is why some of women will decide to go and be sex commercial workers to feed your children, and you are busy enjoying somewhere. It is wrong. And I mean it. No, we need to act honorably as parents. May our good Lord bless you. If you have a question, you can post it down there so that we can also one day come and discuss it together. And then we know what we should do, not to blame the government, but to help the schools curb this menace. May God bless you all.